Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back once again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and almost like it was telegraphed, like we predicted this was going to happen. Wall Street, they bought your bags, they bought on the dip. Right now, crypto still seems to be stagnating. The market isn't really rallying upwards, but we have a lot of sources to showcase in this video that showcases all of these institutions who will be buying up a hell of a lot more Bitcoin. There's still so much bullish sentiment left in this market. We are now seeing acceleration of crypto adoption in the SEC in America, even more so now than ever before. And equally, Casper is in a precarious situation, as I say quite frequently, but in my belief still quite a strong one, at least for some imminent and quite therefore volatile upside, seeing a massive multiplier, if you will. We've got a lot to cover in the stream, so of course if you enjoy, as always, leave a like, share with your friends and subscribe for more. And welcome back to the Coin Factory and the quick crypto live stream. So without further ado, we can see here, if we look at the chat, right at the market right now, Casper is currently retraced down to 7.74 cents, which is definitely not as high as we'd want it to be for Casper, truth be told. But what we are now doing, which is interesting and also worth a note, is holding an extremely critical level of support. If we look back at the chart for Casper, this is a wick down here, and then more recently, of course, wick here, and also the wicks here. So right now, it does heavily depend on the price of Bitcoin and where we go from here. Of course, Bitcoin is still in a very much Bitcoin dominant market, as you can see from the chart. 61.2% is extremely Bitcoin dominated. Therefore, what Bitcoin does, effectively every coin, altcoin, will follow in suit. Casper right now will therefore, like the rest of the market, be at the mercy of Bitcoin. But we can see here on those three occasions, back here, which is on the 3rd of January 2024, so over a year ago now, and then equally more recently, this wick happened down here on the 3rd of February, and then again at the end of February, 1st and 2nd of March as well, or 1st of March as well to be in today. We have seen Casper have a correction down to this price target. Now, for me, this again is an indicator for me that we've got a very, very critical level of support here. Below here, we do have some zones, although albeit not many, where we can analyze where Casper may retrace to in and around these targets around here. But for me, it is this level here, 7 cents, that we do realistically need to hold quite desperately for Casper right now. We have to hold this level of support, and I think there's a possibility we can do based on some imminent catalyst. Although next week has the good and the bad. It's just how it goes though. But we can see, yes, 7 cents, this is 7.5 cents or so, this is the level of support we need to hold. We are therefore indicating that we're seeing a lot of volume for Casper in and around this zone that stops the sellers pushing it down further, a lot of buyers preventing the sellers from pushing it down lower. And hopefully it will be the same going forward. So this potentially could be the absolute bottom for Casper. But again, we'll circle back to that later on in the stream. What I want to highlight first, before I get into the Casper announcements, is the shock, which is what I did state in my stream yesterday, it being the 28th, the last day of February. 28th for actually marked the worst ever, or one of the worst ever, at least, so not from 2014, but one of the worst ever months for crypto, which is rare because, as we can see, historically speaking, February tends to be a very, very good time for the crypto market. Then March can be more hit or miss. But February tends to be a very, very good time, but except because we rallied so early off the back of institutional adoption and ETFs, there was not enough liquidity to push it higher, not enough momentum, and therefore February we saw a massive retracement. One of the worst since June 2022. That is surprising to say the least. But as CZ Binance has highlighted here, which is something that we constantly talk about here, if you got shaken out during this current dip, just reduce your size to a level you can handle. Mental stability beats all market volatility. Simply put, if you are someone who is struggling in these very turbulent times, as I expect you probably are, either you just sit on the sidelines and wait it out for the market to be less volatile, more, I guess, predictable, if you will. Or if you're trading just for give numbers sake, let's just say you're trading with hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single leverage, reduce the size to tens and fives, massively reduce it, because the volatility could catch you out. Of course, it's not financial advice from me nor CZ, but dips are part of a free market. If you're stressed out about it, just change your strategy. Don't be victim to it, because these things are not news to any of us. But despite this correction, which is off the back of the Bybit hack, off the back of the tariffs that are being implemented, which is why we're potentially seeing more downside next week, because it's my understanding these tariffs will be implemented next week from Canada and Mexico, potentially Europe as well, and also an additional 10% on China, meaning 20% tariffs now. If we can see more trade wars and more downsides, so we've got to, usher caution. Potentially, therefore, we see Casper correct further as well. But at the same time, I'm not too worried still. I'm not for Casper or for crypto, because what we're seeing again is the bullish sentiment. For me, it's, at least from what they're stating, seems to outweigh the bearish sentiment. BlackRock stated, "We believe Bitcoin has long-term investment merit and can potentially provide unique and additive sources of diversification to portfolios." This comes from BlackRock and Michael Gates. So BlackRock are now announcing once again, Bitcoin's good. We like Bitcoin. Of course, they have their own agendas, so you've got to be wary of that. But of those who are part of the executive community here, I know Tony is one of the most active members in this community as well. Tony has gained a lot of insight from here, and what we're seeing every single week on our weekly roundtables. We did a weekly roundtable earlier today, about 6-7 hours ago from now. What we're seeing continuously from these institutions, the research documents providing there, is they are still extremely bullish on crypto and, of course, AI and other elements as well, tokenization. So if you want to find out more about that, of course, you can check out for free 7-day free trial, links in the description, in my YouTube homepage here, and also in the chat. But sentiment right now hasn't died, not in the slightest. For me, I think if anything, it's going to give institutions more of an urge, if you will, to want to buy at these dirt cheap levels for Casper, or for crypto, more so should I say. And that's proven here once more. BlackRock have just added its own Bitcoin ETF into its $150 billion model portfolio universe. That's a pretty big development, but that's not all as well. Bitcoin ETFs bought $94 million worth of Bitcoin for its ETF yesterday, which is the highest in a month. So again, the sentiment's coming back quicker and quicker. The fall off was just the macro element, but at the same time, what is to come through is still extremely bullish. Which I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment before I answer some questions, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty Casper news as well. What's up, Crypto, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Having a very good day, and 1st of March. Hopefully, this March will be a lot better than February was for crypto and Casper. Bingo Bango, what's up, my man? Bro, it's not just now at the mercy of Bitcoin. It has always been that way. I mean, truth be told, yes. Although you could argue way back when you do Cas BTC, you could argue way back when before it was below here, Casper was not on the mercy of Bitcoin. Now it most definitely is, but there's still a belief in my mind that in due time Casper will flip Bitcoin again and go above and start not having its own cycle per se, but start outperforming Bitcoin by quite a margin because of its technology and what's coming out in due time. Which again, we've got some updates about that to get through in this stream. Unfortunately, on the weekly time frame, we are descending. We're in a descending channel with a target of 5 cents. I mean, again, TA elements do seem to indicate bearish sentiment right now. For me, I'm not focusing wholeheartedly on that TA element right now. I think we hopefully can hold the level of support where we're at right now, which is around 7.7 cents. This is a very critical level of support for Casper right now. Hopefully, we can hold it, but it depends on Bitcoin. Because we are in a Bitcoin dominant market, and while the sense for Bitcoin is coming back and looking good, which I'm going to play this video in a moment here, which has come from the $12 billion asset manager Bitwise CEO telling CNBC there's never been a better time to own Bitcoin. That's a very bullish statement. Ultimately, the tariffs that are coming through, despite the bullish sentiment from institutions, this may cause more retail dumping, more institutional dumping, and more downside in the short term. Long-term side of things, of course, I still think we've got a lot of upside, but short-term could still look a little bit risky. But we'll get into this video in a moment. What's up, Greg, my man? Hope you're doing very, very well. Hope you're having a good weekend, doing some spring gardening while you're listening to your live. Great to hear that. Loving you touching some grass, my man. Keep that grind up, whether you're just taking a little bit of a breather and whatnot. But yeah, it's good to get outside sometime. Tomorrow, actually, in the morning, I'm waking up at like 7 a.m., which is about 12 hours from now, just to go and go out and meet some people I haven't seen in quite some time because I've been so heavy grinding on crypto and just my content and stuff, and I've been enjoying doing it. But I figured, you know what, time to touch some grass and have a bit of a step away from the market, not focusing on it. Of course, I'll still be somewhat active on Discord. People ask me a question on my community, I'll answer what I can, but I will be out for tomorrow morning at least. But tomorrow's stream should still be going as usual around the 8 p.m. time. A little late today, I apologise, but should be back to normal again. Nade Hart, my man, welcome back. Prices, give me some copium. What's up, my man? What's up, gang? I mean, we'll give you some hopium, hopefully, in this stream. We got you. Hopefully, we got some. I'll give you some clarity, hopefully, followed by some hopium after that as well. Andy A says, can we make some noise to Coins Baron to get paid out in Casper for them? Oh, yeah, this is what. I haven't preloaded it, but I can find it easily because Andy did send this to me. I believe you're talking about these individuals here. If not, then I mean, either way, and he says here, if you make some noise for Coins Baron to get paid out in Casper for them, I mean, yeah, people who are supporting Casper would be very beneficial, of course. Is this crypto summit at the White House anything to be happy about? I would like to believe so. Yes, I think it is quite bullish. That's one of the announcements we've got in this stream as well. No, they didn't. Who didn't? Not sure exactly who you're referring to, man. Probably just a party with the proceeds of the Trump coin rug pull. I mean, again, we can get into the potential of what it's going to be covering right now. We'll get into that in a moment. That's going to be covered shortly after this stream here. And I'll give my own 2 cents on what we could potentially see, the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. What's up, Didi, my man? Hope you're doing very, very well. For me, nothing changes. I am totally confident in Casper. It will be epic, long-term, a good investment. I agree as well. Very good investment. So in that regard then, this is potentially some copium for you. I'm not going to play the whole 3-minute clip here, but I'll play part of it. This is some copium for you, ultimately understanding right now that sentiment for Bitcoin and crypto, while now market looks bearish, it hasn't dipped for institutions. So listen very closely to this clip here, and we'll dissect it a little bit more.
Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley joins us on set for more on what's going on in this market. Hunter, good to see you. On one level, I guess you could draw a picture of the ultimate sell the news, because Bitcoin fans have gotten every single thing they could have wanted and said was part of the bull case 4 or 5 months ago. And now it's like, what's next to look forward to?
I think Bitcoin is famous for volatility, and yet when it experiences volatility, people are surprised.
Yeah.
Q1 has been the best moment for investors to put money into Bitcoin, and we've seen that with our client base. I think we've seen more traditional investors, wealth managers, asset managers, banks engaging with Bitwise, the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, and the asset class in the first quarter of this year amidst the price action. So I think price is always a story in this space. If you remember back to when the Bitcoin ETF launched, it went from 46,000 to 39,000, and people said, okay, maybe it was a buy the rumor, sell the news story. And then it worked its way back up to where it was more recently. So I think there's never been a better time for this asset class.
You say it's always about price.
Now, of course, it does ramble on a little bit longer there, but this is the understanding that we have right now of crypto and Bitcoin right now. According to the Bitwise CEO, someone who's in talks with the asset managers, very well connected, he's saying that we're seeing a lot of Bitcoin purchases right now amidst the current market uncertainty and the volatility. Same thing happened when we first saw Bitcoin ETFs launched. But ultimately, it has still never been a more bullish time to buy Bitcoin. We saw, which shout out to C Crypto, he mentioned in our executive live stream earlier today when he did his elements of TA. I'm going to leak this little bit for you lot here. He gave us some analysis on the matter, which again, it could come to fruition. I'm optimistic it could do, which was, if you go all the way back to this particular date here, we saw the crash happen. We saw a massive fall off of 30%. Again, it's covering once again the 30% correction we've seen. Right now, following the Bybit crash and the tariffs, Trump wars and whatnot, in a short span of time, we've seen equally, from this dip now, 30%. So we have now, after this correction to 78k, seen a 30% pullback in the value of Bitcoin. A lot of liquidations, a lot of money lost. And since then, this sort of flash crash, if you will, Bitcoin is now up 1.3% on the daily time frame, which is impressive. And equally is now pushing back up, currently trying to surpass this level of resistance here of 85k. But again, this is the whole element of, liquidating people being very emotional, and now we're back to looking more optimistic for Bitcoin. We did cover in the stream yesterday that Hades, I believe his name was, highlighted that we could potentially see Bitcoin correct further into these levels here over the weekend, and I said it was a possibility of such. Definitely a possibility of such, because again, from my understanding, the tariffs that Trump's trying to implement will be coming into action, if you will, next week, on around March 4th, I believe, so on Tuesday. And again, we can see more downside, still a potential, but we've seen the market recover therefore, and hopefully assets will follow in suit, because we're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. And this could also be a potential reason why we could see some potentially bullish sentiment. The 7th of March, which is going to be on Friday, to my knowledge. Quick check the calendar. Yes, Friday. Trump will be hosting the first ever White House Crypto Summit. It says Friday there, on Friday, March 7th. Attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry. Now, this could, as Rule Britannia highlights here, potentially just be a sort of a party and nothing burger, if you will. There's definitely a possibility of such. So we've got to play that in mind. But one thing to take into account, regardless, is these sort of pro crypto summits or crypto talk in the White House was never a thing for ever happened before. This is a first time in history we have seen a crypto summit take place within the White House. It could be a nothing burger, but it's also an indicator that this government is now turning very pro crypto, very bullish on crypto. They want to take advantage and capitalize on this space for their own greed benefits, but that also could potentially benefit us as well. Just for making quick money, but also I say for making quick money. I have seen countless research documents that, again, I disclosed to members who are part of the Coin Factory executive community, talking all about the utilization of crypto into this monetary system, tokenization. They want to get access to stablecoins. They want to evolve now, finally. So they want to make crypto a quick buck. Potentially, they're also going to utilize the technology, and that's going to be a huge boon for us going forward. This could be a nothing burger, but I'm optimistic we can see some very big announcements. Why? Because we've been seeing constant developments here from Ellen Terrett, a scoop regarding this summit here. Friday's White House Crypto Summit will be first in the series of confabs designed to replace the previously proposed Crypto Advisory Council as a way for the President Working Group on Digital Assets to collaborate with industry on policymakers. So this actually, to build on top of the potential, again, this could potentially be a nothing burger for, a lot of people. It could be deemed a nothing burger, but according to Ellen Terrett here, who's very well tied into the crypto space, she's highlighting here that allegedly this White House will replace the proposed Crypto Advisory Council and instead be as a sort of means of a ways of having a President Working Group on digital assets collaborate with industry on policy making. So in my belief, therefore, you'll likely see the likes of XRP and Ripple at that attending at the event, because they have their leverage, their power, and they're constantly at policy summits. You'll probably see XLM there as well. And, but it's still a good development to see that the America to actually taking measures now to enforce regulations, which I'm going to highlight in a moment the potential benefits, but also potential downside for that. From this post that I made a post about this over a month back now, and the KL responded to this, which I found and I, preloaded here. But it's still ultimately going to bring trillions more capital into this space. For Friday's gathering, a list of 25 invitees have been finalised. I'm told, unclear at the moment who it is. I'll get more in due time. What's up, Crypto Ghost, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing very, very well. Jose, my man, there is going to be a huge drop strategically by whales to make the weak hand sell. I purchased according to the budget, but I truly believe you should try and get as much as you can. Again, of course, not financial advice. But, I mean, yeah, ultimately, you got to keep in mind the rich stay rich by profiting off the poor. They don't want anybody to have money besides themselves. It's a greed thing, but everybody's greedy. That's why we're in this space. We're in this space to make money, potentially for selfless measures. You know, I want to make money to help retire my family. You know, support my dad who's coming, you know, who's having health problems now as well. I want to make money through that means. And it's going to take me a while, I'm sure, but I want to be able to at least get my foot in the door, which is what we're ultimately talking about daily here. But some people already have supporting measures in place, and they just want to, you know, buy their Lamborghinis, and that's perfectly fine. You know, at the end of the day, it's your money, you choose what you want to do with it. But ultimately, the ones who are in the very, very high percents, the JP Morgans and the Bank of America of the world, and even then the massive whales, they just want to keep the wealth for themselves. So all we can do is follow the money, don't be emotional, political, and keep on grinding. Ronnie says, I don't know about you guys, but I think Altcoin is the future, and obviously we should be represented in the White House. And all jokes aside, that actually is a meme token called Altcoin. There's some devious memes in the Solana chain. And I mean, I get the premise behind the joke, Ronnie, just kind of saying this whole thing's like a joke to you. And it is kind of comical, it is kind of ridiculous at this point, but it's trying, as a part of what we do here daily, and part of what I have my community for, the paid one in particular, but also the free one as well, having a place where you can chill, chat, and learn more, but also to help you try and ignore the unnecessary noise. We talk about the noise, but we also help depict what the noise, you know, trying to amplify what the noise is actually saying and depict the real message behind it, you know. What's up, Buffalo Theory? How's you doing, very well, my man? Nohar says 5 cents by end of next week, mark my words. I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible, depending on the market sentiment, but we'll have to wait and see, because we are seeing again Casper holding quite a strong level of support around this zone here. And Bitcoin now looks like it's making a rally upwards. That could be a very, very bullish tide as well going forward. The last major development, though, in regards to the macro fundamental news here, comes from Mochiguru here. Again, SEC going ham. We've seen the SEC dismiss Coinbase's case. One of the biggest, if not the biggest. I think the biggest one probably is Ripple's case, but Coinbase's case is one of the biggest. They dismiss Coinbase. They need to dismiss OpenSea's NFT market. They need to dismiss Robinhood. Very big as well. Then they dismissed Gemini. Then it was Consensus. So what SEC have been dismissing case after case regarding crypto every single day, and now the judge has dismissed SEC case against Hex Crypto founder Richard Hart. So once more, time and time again, this SEC who went from very anti-crypto, enforcing everything they can to keep us in a cage, this new SEC has broken that cage and let all of us try to fly free, which is again a great indicator for imminent regulatory clarity, imminent rulemaking, imminent adoption, and trillions of capital flowing into space from these institutions. And this is a market that I think Casper can do very well to tap into in this cycle. Much as it might be early doors, still I think Casper will tap into this cycle, into this space, into this market in this cycle as well. Capital price today much worse than 1 year ago? Yeah, it definitely is. But I'm sure that other projects in this space similarly are also having a very bad time in their, you know, yearly parameters as well. Casper's doing very badly in the span of 1 year. But if we're going to compare to, again, you can compare to other projects, right? I'm not in for Casper for the price action. Price action is great, of course, but I'm in for Casper for what they are building, understanding that when this utility comes through, when this use case comes through, when their developments take shape, the price will rise for the adoption. Part of the reason I'm here watching videos, I mean, actually should, Ronnie, again, here to learn more about the space and understand where to ignore the noise, or if not ignore the noise, at least be able to depict what this noise is trying to tell you. The noise of being bearish right now, very deafening. But then you see all this stuff here, and you realize, oh, the deafening noise is just trying to, you know, to make you deaf. But actually, institutions are still very bullish on crypto going forward. And we're seeing the SEC and the White House actually taking active steps to support crypto now. Welcome back, Mr. Miles, for Point for Duty. How's it feeling, Mr. Miles? Yes, if you want to, Mr. Miles, have his dinner tonight, you have to give him 50 likes, please. Although we only got 43 viewers today, maybe 30 likes today. What's up? But yeah, if you enjoyed the streams again, always leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. But yes, we could see Casper have some corrective behaviour. I'm not against the possibility of such. But we're seeing strong consolidation for Casper. We also saw earlier was a massive capitulation in the hash rate, which is happening quite frequently nowadays. Potentially because they're also building up towards 10 BPS. So we're seeing a lot of the old miners Because I did see a short about it as well. A lot of these, Ice Rivers and these other big mining companies have these, massive, powerful miners that they are waiting for 10 BPS to come out before they actually launch them, or for the price to start rising as well. So potentially, this is all the miners from the other big corporations going offline or maintenance or whatever to prepare for the new miners coming out following 10 BPS coming out very, very soon. Currently at 1.42, which is very good to see as well. And we also got another reduction coming in just 4 days' time as well. And it's going to be even harder to make money from Casper. So the demand and the supply is going to start deteriorating more and more. Even if the demand does not increase, if demand stays the same, but the supply keeps decreasing more and more, eventually the demand will outweigh the supply and the price will start to rally as well. So in Casper's regard here, 10 BPS I think is going to be the biggest catalyst for adoption for Casper, and equally some potential listings, We've got some big things coming up this week as well that I'm going to mention in a moment as well. But we're going to hear from Casper first off. Hard to unsee this now. Talking about doing the code review for Crescendo activation logic. I get excited only from reading the lines because see here the Crescendo countdown. It's already started. We are so incredibly close right now. Oh, so close right now. It's within touching distance. About a month off, maybe 2 at the very worst. 2 months away from 10 BPS on the mainnet. Signs of mass adoption likely coming through in due time following that. So 10 BPS using a fair launch proof of work engine. The ticker is Casper. This is innovation in its truest form. And what's great about Casper as well is it's technology, something that I feel like a lot of people are going to start actually understanding more so in due time. This is a post from Christian Ludwig made yesterday stating, "I can't eat my words if they're inscribed on Casper." He made on KNS bottom.casper here. This is legendary, as Casper reports highlights, and he explains why. Christian effectively just posted a tweet on the Casper block DAG by utilizing its extreme censorship resistance to produce an unalterable inscription, a KNS domain, that's intended to memorialize his opinion on Casper's price at the time of his inscription. Ultimately, he was trying to say, and he can't take his word back because it's permanently going to be on this platform, is this is the bottom for Casper. Again, he may be wrong, but that's the fact of the matter being is the censorship resistant element of it is unalterable. This is a very big deal. This underscores the profound impact that Casper censorship resistance may have our own ability to provide unalterable recounting of historical events. While the Casper network has already been providing this feature for property ownership, so the Casper coins, NFTs, KLC20, KNS, whatever it may be, we have barely even scratched the surface of censorship-resistant speech use cases. Imagine Casper becomes this blockchain infrastructure, not just for blockchain, for the entire world as we know it, recalling historical events at the moment it's inscribed. Like Casper breaks $10 milestone, it's inscribed on the KNS domain. So now forever we know the exact date and time it's happened. Or even more significant, Casper gets partnership with BlackRock. Let's just throw that out as a potential, inscribed on the Casper blockchain, so everyone knows the exact day and time it happened. And it cannot be altered at all. It will be exciting to see just how far the ZK rollups will take this use case, how much it will push it further. Which again, we've got this in regards to that again in this stream as well. Casper may soon finish the work of platforms like Nostr, Farcaster, and Blue Sky by allowing totally decentralized censorship-resistant social media clients to be built on the network block DAG. Again, how early we are of Casper is not to be overlooked, and how early we are of crypto is something equally. It's going to be a very big factor that we cannot overlook as well. Even Senator Cynthia Loomis here. Here is what we learned from yesterday's hearing. This is talking about the subcommittee Digital Asset Ledger Data Summit, or a meeting even that happened on the 26th of February, so about 2 to 3 days ago now, which I did talk about briefly. It highlights here that most digital assets are not legally securities under the Howey Test. It's a very big announcement to make, because previously we were under the impression that every crypto was at the whim, at the mercy of the Howey Test from the old SEC. But now, apparently most are not legally securities. So they're having to reinvent a whole new method to... And that's ultimately what this summit's going to be talking about as well. Trying to find ways to actually, categorize crypto. In regards to not the Howey Test anymore, that can't be utilized. There's got to be something else as well that's used to help identify securities in crypto. Furthermore, the US is behind other countries in creating laws for digital assets. Again, I highlighted it in my executive roundtable with Tony and other members who are there as well. The significance of adoption that we're going to be seeing in America, because they know they're behind and they want to catch up. By pretty much every country, even their main competitor China, they're somewhat behind. And they don't like that. America hate being behind. It's their fault. They could have definitely fast-tracked it with the old administration, but they chose not to. But they hate being behind. So the biggest economy as well, they can quickly catch up. They have that benefit, but they're going to plan to catch up. They're creating new laws as we speak, actively trying to get a hold of this space, grab it by the cojones while they still can, before it gets away from them. And that is potentially that. And the information we covered, the institutional documents we covered as well, highlighted how soon we see developments coming through. A lot of people right now under the impression it will take 3, 4, 5 years. I'm telling you, it's sooner. I can, not financial advice, but from what I've seen, these institutions are talking about it will happen a lot sooner than we expect. I'm not talking years. I'm talking months. Again, if you want to know more about that, you've got to check out the executive community there. Links in the description, chat, or my homepage here. 7-day free trial. Come join and see if it takes your fancy. But what we're talking about there is ultimately just, right now when the market is so volatile, we're just trying to build our understanding of the space so we can actually stay ahead of the game. That's what we're trying to do right now. And the last thing as well, which for me is arguably the biggest factor here, is stablecoins will bring our payment system into the 21st century. That's huge. Why? Because it's true. They want stablecoins so badly, so desperately. And Casper Silver here makes a very interesting point. Stablecoins will bring our payment system into the 21st century. This is the market Casper can seriously contribute to. Why? Well, stablecoins that already exist, like USDT, Tether, USDC, Circle, and even RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin. They were actually a way to bring about CBDCs. That's proven. You go through Ripple's, pretty much their whole infrastructure, their whole, white paper, whatever it may be, the RUSD, intention was for institutional use case, but it was also intended for CBDCs. Now, I did highlight briefly in my executive roundtable, a bit of understanding of CBDCs. Ultimately, I don't like them, and that's one of the things that I'm actually very, very happy and supportive for Trump for. By Trump outright outlawing and banning CBDCs, I'm very happy he did that, because I think CBDCs are a disaster waiting to happen, an ultimate way for governments to have even more control over you and your finances, to stop you from having any basic needs and wants, to basically control you from the bone down. I don't like that. But truth be told, I think CBDCs are unavoidable, but they're being delayed, and I'm very happy they're being delayed at the very least, at least from Trump's side of things as well. But stablecoins that exist right now, Tether, Circle, Ripple, and I'm sure many more, they are a way to actually bring about CBDCs. But Trump outlawed them. Casper, though, without having the actual medium of exchange, the scalability needed, is an alternative to the fiat altogether. It's not a stablecoin. They'll bring stablecoins out, which is what Johnny highlighted as well. Ultimately, understanding why a lot of Casper's price is not rallied right now, a lot of these listings not come through yet, because Casper's not even got a DeFi yet. Coming soon, but not even got stablecoins yet. Equally coming soon. When they come out, the adoption of Casper will start to flip on its head, I imagine, quite quickly as well. But Casper is an alternative to fiat altogether, but before that becomes more of a reality, there needs to be onboarding incentives to get people on the Casper network. Stablecoins in the market to capitalize on. And that is precisely what Casper will be talking about, and that's what I've talked about as well. I think it's quite evident from the information that I provided here in these streams, stablecoins is probably the biggest and most important market right now to tap into. Then you got tokenization, then you got, NFT market and all the stuff. The whole, you want to tap into everything, of course, have the widest web possible. But the ones that I think is going to be the biggest, liquidity provider, adoption, if you will, onboarding is stablecoins. Stablecoins on Casper on a very scalable, very cheap layer 1 infrastructure with layer 2 parameters with smart contracts will be game changing. People who go on it will be able to transact their currencies back and forth, and it'll happen so quickly and so cheaply they probably even recognize how quick it was. And they're thinking, why have I been using Ethereum this whole time? Why have I been using Solana this whole time? Of course, they've got adoption, they're bigger, but the speed alone could generally put in a solid question to people like, I should be looking at this new chain, this new Casper chain, this new Casper DAG, if you will, actually. Stablecoins are coming out to Casper in due time. Now, I'll talk about that a little bit more here, but I want to highlight this post here as well. Because it built up of the once more that stablecoins like Tether and Circle and Ripples were a way to bring about CBDCs, but they are a centralized entity pretty much. This is a post highlighted a while back. The impact of MiCA will be felt in 2025. MiCA being the stablecoin regulations happening in Europe, which actually America want to implement some semi-similar rules. Impacts of critical regulations such as MiCA will be felt in 2025. Enforcing strict regulations will help massively in the maturing of this market, allowing trillions to flood in. A lot more coming into the space, make no mistake about that. However, there will be downsides to these strict regulations. As the KI highlighted, it could mess with centralization, privacy, and the freedom which goes against everything crypto stands for. For that matter as well, USDT Tether, which is somewhat decentralized, or at least it's the biggest stablecoin right now. But because of their lack of, transparency in a sense, or because they're not trusted by these entities right now. Circle and Ripple, they're in the pockets of governments. Tether's not. And as a result, Tether is being delisted on many major exchanges already, like Coinbase, for example, already gone. Casper.com, to my knowledge, already gone, due to the lack of compliance with MiCA. This has been Casper right now fighting an uphill battle, but thankfully, the KRI are doing their utmost to ensure that Casper are compliant with regulatory standards from day one. They're forming a regulatory roundtable group as we speak right now. And it will take even more shape in the future to come following the release of smart contracts and the project launching on Casper. And they responded to me here, which I was very surprised about and very happy about as well. Thanks for this. You are correct. And this little closed circle of policymakers and their inner circle of consultants and lawyers with their vetted interests are a disease taking lots of EU funds to regulate because they simply cannot innovate. Casper is a testament to innovation. And because the centralized authorities, the vested interest, the disease of these inner circles, because they can't innovate enough, they're going to try and put a tight circle and squeeze in this market to gain favour for themselves. Worth noting, a prominent Casper community member wanted to discuss regulatory policies, was denied access to a public event because they don't belong to a crypto company, and therefore their registration was refused. That is nuts. Not because it was a closed door one, it was a public event. That's the nuts factor. If it was a closed door meeting, you can argue fair enough, sure, whatever. It was a public event. Therefore, anyone, with the right credentials, I guess, can attend. But because Casper is not, in the strict sense, a crypto company, they were denied access to be a part of the regulatory policy, to be a part of the future shaping of this market and this industry going forward, to help devise the rules necessary to gain adoption, to be on the right path. KRI will work to design decentralized censorship-resistant platforms where possible, and will work to break these nonsense closed talking shops full of all the magical blockchain and crypto experts, many whims, expertise which seem to have been associated with the same long forgotten zombie chain, if any. The KRI's job is to really put Casper at the forefront of this space and to also break down the centralized disease, virus that's taken a hold of this space. Everything now becomes centralized. They put the tag on their infrastructure as a DeFi protocol, but with a centralized authority behind it, how decentralized can you really be? Casper is decentralized from the bones, from the ground up. Casper is truly decentralized, fair launch proof of work like Bitcoin. And I think Casper, in its sense, with what they're building, will start gaining significant adoption following 10 BBS and equally following the release of smart contracts. And equally, for now, you're potentially going to see the preventation of CBDCs, stablecoins as well. KRI has already confirmed stablecoins will be coming out this year for Casper. So again, not far off. Furthermore, this event happening tomorrow and Monday, 2nd and 3rd of March, you're going to see Casplex at attendance as the expo sponsor, alongside many other prominent industries: Binance, 1inch, Kraken, Crypto.com, BitGet, KuCoin, Nasdaq, ICI, You got Gemini down here as well, and many other very notable crypto exchanges and industries. And at this event, for half an hour segment, Casper will be talking, or Casper Door will be talking here, about token issuance, deploy issues mode on KRC20, light index deployment by May 2025, which to my understanding, these two combined make up the development of stablecoins. Therefore, stablecoins come to Casper in May, or by May, so before that, and how Casper's layer 2 stays consistent with layer 1 sequencing and consensus. So, smart contracts. Again, while it's taken a long time and developments as slow as this can be infuriating, it has been infuriating for the Casper community, it's better than doing it slow and steady and making sure it's really good than them doing it quickly, making mistakes, and then causing more FUD. And we're going to see the big developments coming through in the next few months. 10 BPS takes shape starting next month, sometime in March, sometime in April even. So mid to latter half of April, 10 BPS comes out on Casper. Then you'll have stablecoins following very soon after that. In May, month after that. Smart contracts are also being talked about from these developers as well. Like Michael said, there was a thread or a series of conversation discussion happening in the Casper community where they're talking about potentially accelerating smart contracts to coincide with stablecoins. And smart contracts, again, is something that's also coming up very soon, as I mentioned here. Zelia swaps, for example, they have, reached out to a number of content creators, myself included. I haven't had the time to respond to them, unfortunately. They said Zelia swaps is working perfectly in this closed beta test. This DeFi tool is going to be perfect for Casper. And ultimately, yeah, they have a closed beta going on right now. They've got a lot of valuable insight from the beta test as well. They are trying to build some really good DeFi tools on Igra Labs, and their test actually be coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. They said end of Q1. We're in March right now, so any week now, any day now, we should be seeing the test net launch for Igra Labs and their full mainnet launch very soon after that as well. So we'll be seeing smart contracts coming to Casper very, very soon. These are the significant developments coming to Casper that will generate so much more adoption, onboarding so much more, just people in general, and therefore liquidity coming in, therefore the demand for Casper will rise up as well, and therefore it will also revitalize this industry here, KLC20, which right now even Nacho's dropped below 10 mil. It's been hard as you've been holding these tokens. If you're still holding them, of course, there are quite a few people. I am not holding them yet, but I do plan to look into it very soon. With 10 PPS around the corner, I plan to probably get in just before 10 PPS. That potentially being the start of a series of imminent catalysts coming up for Casper. 10 PPS quickly followed by stablecoins, then smart contracts, then Dag Knight. For me, it's going to be almost like a snowball in the literal sense. Casper right now is pushing this snowball up a very, very steep hill, Mount Everest type hill, and we're almost at the peak, at the summit. And soon, as we release 10 BPS, we go over that lip, and it starts rolling and rolling and building in terms of adoption, in terms of onboarding, in terms of developments, in terms of everything. And then, in my understanding, in my belief, not financial advice, but my belief, Casper price will quickly rally from there as well. Maybe not immediately. Again, onboarding takes time, adoption takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but enough to bring more FOMO back for Casper, and the adoption will only further ignite that catalyst to see adoption coming through quicker and quicker as well. We're seeing four if not five, people building smart contracts on Casper. Casper EVM, Casplex, Project Sparkle, and Igra Labs. There's a lot more to come for Casper. And something I'm also going to highlight here as well in a moment here. There's a little clip talking about from Casper Guru here, Casper Silver. This is how Bitcoin dies. I'll get into that in a moment here, but ultimately just talking about while Bitcoin is being mass adopted right now from these, higher ups, they ultimately just don't have enough basic understanding of what this technology is. Once more proving how early we are, but also potentially therefore they're going to kill Bitcoin, meaning you've got to look elsewhere. Again, we'll cover that in a moment though. Matthew Miller says, I don't even understand why there's no altcoin season. Unbelievable, the first bull market without an altcoin season. Right now, we are nowhere near the end of the bull cycle. Nowhere near, at least in my personal belief, not financial advice. We've got a lot more time left. Right now, we're still in a very much a Bitcoin dominant market. Ethereum is at 2.2k, all-time high was 4k. Ethereum's down 50%. We're at a Bitcoin dominant market. There's not going to be an altcoin season right now with this current market sentiment. But when the market recovers, and it's not for me a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Again, if you're struggling right now, sit on the sidelines, all markets are very volatile. Eventually, Bitcoin will rally up, then dominance will fall off, Ethereum will break all-time highs, and then there'll be an altcoin season. Alt season tends to last for the last few months of the cycle, and we're not near the top yet. Not at least in my belief. I think we've still got a lot longer left. Mr. Mars and DD, you know we OGs don't come out till later streams. I mean, yeah, that's precisely also why there have been sentiments for me in times where I want to actually make earlier streams, because it might suit my schedule a little bit more, but I understand right now that the community that I've developed so much, and from the questions I've asked of ideal times, we prefer the streams around this time. So I always try and make it around the same time, if not maybe a little bit later, despite it may mess with my schedule and whatnot. If I can't do it, of course I'll do it earlier, which I'll of course try to announce it ahead of time. Oh my god, Jay caught up on this chat in only 25 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm going manic today. This is the first time at the end of times. Nope, because I'm sure you're going to ask very stupid questions right now in the chat. Dump and pump to 10 cents, incoming bounce from 5.6. Potentially, again, there does seem to be a level of support around 5.6, this round zone around here. So it's definitely a potential, but it depends again on the value of Bitcoin. I'm not discrediting the possibility Casper come down further, but we are seeing time and time again a very, very strong level of support constantly rebounding off the level here. So if Bitcoin can hold 85k, potentially Casper just holds the level here as well and starts to make a rally upwards. Because again, remember, when Bitcoin was at 100k, around 104k here, February 4th, Casper was equally down here, February 4th. Then Bitcoin continued to come down, whilst Casper made a rally upwards and then came down again. So potentially we see something again where Bitcoin may consolidate, and therefore this will give Casper time to start accumulating again and start to rally upwards. Right now, Casper's volume is again in the mud a little bit, 62 million, not ideal, currently a 2 billion market cap. Again, the volume's being dominated by the likes of BitGet, up to 14%, which is nice to see. Mexi's next, 18. Lbank's falling off quite a lot. Gate again still dominating it. Bybit's still up here. So again, as I mentioned, of course, the volume for Casper is going to be a lot higher from the bigger exchanges in particular, but it's going to be a lot higher. 62 million is not enough. But KF highlighted the big exchanges, Bybit, BitGet, Kraken. If we see high volume with those exchanges, that's a good indicator that tier ones will jump on board like Binance as a good events catalyst. And while the volume's not high, only 8.8 and 5.3 million a piece, respectively, 8% to 14% is a sizable portion. They're taking up about a quarter, or just below a quarter even, of the total volume for Casper. The higher the better, of course, time will tell. Hash rate staying up high, and it's going to likely explode more so if 10 PS around the corner. Holders right now, still kind of lackluster. Although saying that we are seeing more buy today on this dips, which is very bullish to see. This wallet that's been quiet for the last week has been doing its test again of 1 Casper transactions. We suspect once more that it is the Binance mining pool, while I have no confirmation of such. We suspect it's Binance wallet gearing up for a listing. The mining and what's coming out next week equally is very, very big. We've got the Crypto Expo event coming out next week. We also have the Binance reward distribution happening before the 6th of March, before Thursday, which again, if you remember, this wallet buys Casper every single Monday and Thursday, historically speaking. And it's on the odd occasion. The fact that they're going to be finalizing their distribution period on a Thursday, I'm not saying we'll get a listing for Binance and Casper that time, but I'm saying that the time this wallet tends to scoop up Casper and the time of their announcement when they're going to announce the completion of the distribution period, if they stay true to this timeline, therefore, is a weird coincidence, right? But I think, again, it's a matter of time. This wallet's building up more and more. Tests going through thick and fast again. And I think we're going to see a lot more coming to Casper in due time. I say it every single day, but it's my belief. And I shook his proof every single stream why I believe that much. We're seeing all these catalysts coming through. Stablecoins, 10 BPS, very, very close now. Smart contracts, like all this stuff coming through. And then equally the current fundamental developments in this space as well. SEC, governments, BlackRock, everything that's saying like the market is in dire situation. If you're worried, understandable, but ignore the noise. Don't be emotional, political, and look at what's happening. Look at the real news, not this rubbish trade war. Again, it's important to note it while we talk about it, but that might help you devise your short-term trading strategies. But if you're holding long-term, that shouldn't matter to you. If anything, it just gives you a time to potentially DCA and buy more at a lower price. That stuff, again, we're trying to talk about a lot more and highlight a lot more with more institutional research and insight from this community here, the executive community here. Again, if you want to know more, you can join for a free 7-day free trial. Link in the description, chat, also my homepage here as well. And I just wanted to chill chat and learn more about crypto and Casper in general, and have a community where we're trying to learn more while, debates go flying here and left and everywhere. I did see one yesterday that I haven't addressed. I've decided I'm going to let it lie, but hopefully people aren't being too disrespectful. You come join the community there as well, for free as well. Maybe they're maybe they all are saying this because of the upcoming hard fork. Da Vinci Jeremy also said once that hard fork could make problems for Casper. No, the reason why Da Vinci Jeremy said hard forks could make a problem for Casper is because hard forks inherently can cause issues like hackers, bad actors taking advantage of the hard fork when it's happening. Equally, if not enough warnings given to the necessary parties, they may not, they may not actually conduct the hard fork themselves on their side of things, talking exchanges and trading pools mainly. Therefore, they can be victim to it. And also hard forks again, if there are errors in the coding and the hard fork have not enough due diligence been done, then yes, that can cause issues. There are definite issues and dangers around hard forking. However, Casper's taken over a year to do it. They've done their due diligence, a lot of research done consistently. They've been in contact with these exchanges and trading pools repeatedly as well. And we've been seeing, I remember a while back, they had the whole list of these other pools, and from Binance to Marathon to other pools who are actually testing testnet 11 to 10 bps. Casper has done their due diligence. So hard forks are only risky if they are done in a rash or lackluster fashion, which Casper has done. If Casper's anything, Casper's thorough. They're very thorough. What happened to the Binance alleged Casper listing hints? Did they change their minds? We have no idea about that. The whole listing hints came from the block time, overclock time, the blockchain trilemma post, the crescendo post, and there are a lot of leaks here and there. Ultimately, we don't know. We really don't know. For me, again, I think Binance is a matter of time. Again, when the next speculation comes up, of course I'll cover it, because it's quite entertaining to cover the theories at times, but my whole fundamental premise is it's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. Binance will in due time list Casper, and that'll be a time to celebrate, of course, pretty much the whole world round, because everyone's been wanting this listing for years, or a year or so now, a very long time. Since they started their perp trading, which was over a year ago, in fact, we're wanting a Binance spot listing for Casper. I don't know where it's gone. I don't know why it's not here. We've heard rumours apparently it should have happened in 2024 and it didn't. We can only be at the mercy of the exchanges. We have no idea. But I think Casper, catalyst-wise, authorities of the smart contracts could be a big time for huge adoption. I do agree as well. I think TBS will be a good catalyst as well. I think also stablecoins, as Casper Silver highlights here, will equally be an extremely big catalyst. And I think stablecoins could be arguably the biggest one. Because Casper technology will be, arguably the best for stablecoin adoption. We celebrate Carnival in the Netherlands this weekend. I'm hoping Casper is playing and paying my beer. Well, have a very, very good time at the Carnival, my man. I have never been to a Carnival myself, but I do plan to one day. Hopefully off my Casper as well. But yeah, hopefully Casper can pay for your beers. Although, to highlight next week, those who are in my community can also already see the imported dates, which I'm going to read off right now. But important dates starting next week. We do have tomorrow Crypto Expo events till the 3rd. On the 5th of March is the emission reduction. Then on the 6th should be the Binance reward pool payout, potentially listing following, but again we'll have to wait and see. On the 7th of March is also this Crypto Expo event, this crypto event here. Or not Expo event, this Crypto Summit here from the White House. And also the unemployment numbers, which could therefore determine the rate cuts potentially coming through. And equally also sometime next week is going to potentially be the implementation or re-implementation of tariffs. And therefore potentially trade war. So we're seeing a lot of bullish catalysts followed by the ultimate boss of bearish catalysts being the tariffs right now. So remain vigilant and keep doing your research. The concern with hard forks is they haven't been tested as long as the current chain. They have only been in beta tested, not in the real world tested. One tiny flaw and heck will find it. Again, that's partly it as well. Again, the shortcomings to hard forks ultimately just comes down to not enough due diligence. But Casper has been doing this for over a year. So they've done the due diligence in the hard fork, and I'm sure they're ready. Who here knows the SP meme about the cable company getting off by making your life more difficult? It's Binance of Casper. I don't know the meme, and I also trailed off speaking there because I thought you were trolling me again. But I mean, if the premise is that Binance keeps teasing Casper listings, they're not actually going to do it for ages, I agree as well. If Casper pays off, I pay your beard too. Well, hopefully it do pay off very soon then. Hopefully have a good time at the carnival, man. Good to get out every now and then, touch some grass, you know. Take a step away from this very, very toxic market. You still got time, you know, and taking a step away right now could be the healthiest thing because, you know, it can get very depressing. It can. Now, I'm not bothered. You know, I'm also going out tomorrow myself, which hopefully therefore does pay for my bits because I'm going out with some friends in the morning. Only a Brit would get alcohol in the morning, honestly. I just realised that's so weird. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully enjoy myself and then come back. Not wasted, of course, because I've got work to do. But I will come back and be giving you a daily Casper crypto FOMO. I am not on live chat, unfortunately. No, Mr. Miles. I forgot about that this time round. I apologise. I'll do it now, see if I've missed anything. I don't think I missed anything significant in the chat, though. Oh, I did see. Actually, no, I did see one here. Okay, for some reason, I can't scroll up very far anymore, which is a bit worrying. This live chat's a bit dodgy. Okay, so if I missed any questions, I apologise. I now could see them. If I missed yours, then ask again. But cryptocurrency is fueled by an inevitable digital future. Everything is in infancy. Casper is Casper to infinity. Yes, completely agree. Yes, Casper is in infancy, and it will go to infinity. I completely agree. Casper, crypto is fueled by what's to come, and Casper is going to be very, very bullish going forward as well. He skipped so much of the chat. I did. Okay, well, I apologise therefore. I didn't realise I skipped so much. It's my mistake. I'm, you know, trying to stay more on top of the whole live chat thing. I'll be sure to remember the next time in the future. I'm going to actually make a post-it note on my computer right now. I've got to see the post-it notes that I have here. Well, okay, well, thanks. My screen decided just to do that. That's fantastic. I love when my computer does this. My mouse is dodgy as well. Yeah, you know all the dilemmas I have for my computer and software. But I was going to do a sticky note just basically showcasing that that I'm going to put live chat every single time I go live now. I've completely thrown off my game now. Okay, turn on live chat, noob. Cool. Okay, that's there in bold. I can see that now. Also made I turn it pink as well so I can see how obvious it is in the top right. Just to prove it here. But yeah, I'll make sure to do that from this point forward as well. Jay should pay me one Casper every time I mind about live chat. Well, never again. Hopefully never again. It's going to be here forever. Until I make it a second nature to me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I still think we've got a lot of good things coming next week. I think we'll see more volatility next week for crypto and Casper. I'm hoping to see some nice relief rallies and reversals. And I do think that, you know, again, we're in our infancy, as my man Odd highlighted here. We're in our infancy of Casper. A lot more to come, most definitely. First thing, unsubscribing if Jay doesn't concede. You wouldn't dare. But yeah, I'm going to play this video real quick then. This video from Casper Guru here. Just, you know, highlighting this is how Bitcoin dies. Bitcoiners love to ignore the fact that it must be spent to survive long term, but if you're relying on mainstream media for your crypto information, you've already done. And apparently Casper also highlights here that in the same clip, she goes on to say that Bitcoin has instant transactions, which is completely incorrect, of course, because Bitcoin has 10-minute confirmation times. Listen very close to this stream again, this video, before we get to the next bit of information and wrap up the stream today.
Let's get to crypto, Senator, because you're in New York City today for the Bitcoin Investors Conference. You'll be on several panels later today. I understand last night you bought drinks at a Bitcoin-themed pub key bar. But listen, you paid in cash. Why? How about Bitcoin?
Well, because I spend dollars and save Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an asset that's growing in value, and I know it's volatile. Its short-term volatility has been in existence since it has been in existence. But in the long term, it's growing in value, where the U.S. dollar is by design debasing. Every year, the Fed has it designed so it inflates 2% or more. They try.
You get the picture. Anyways, I'm seeing a lot of rubbish being chatted in the chat. No, to prove it to you, here's my live chat. I got up here. That's as far as I can scroll up. I can't scroll up any further. It's not letting me. It's dodgy. And if I don't do it at the beginning, it gets dodgy about that. which is why also when people ask too many questions, I can't always go back to the very beginning of them because people are asking too many questions. Sure, Mr. Mars is digging my grave for me. Another day in the red. Who's up for leaving the physical world together? Yeah, sounds like a great idea, Jesus. What's up, my man? Jay, may I ask you to be bearish for once so we can pump? Since you started streaming, we keep dumping. Keep an open mind, please. Honestly, that's the funniest thing I've heard. And honestly, you know what? It is quite comical and quite unfortunate for the moment I started doing my streams. Literally, this top here, we started dumping. I expect these conspiracies to come out sooner or later. And yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe I'll start being bearish in Casper as a joke to see if it starts pumping. Although I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want to become the Jim Cramer of Casper. That would actually kill me. Like, I'd be so upset. Don't use pop out and you can go back further. I mean, yes, but if I don't use pop out and go back further, but I then can't, like how you can see it pop up on screen right now, I can't pop up on screen. This little pop out here lets me show it in the bottom left, so you can see the question on screen. If I don't do this, then I can't do that. I'll figure out a method to fix it in due time, you know. But that being said, I'm fairly sure I covered all today's Casper and crypto FOMO. A lot more to come next week. A lot of interesting things to come. Hold tight. You know, the market's definitely is a battle. It's a war zone, if you will. But we know what we hold. We know what's coming. All of that coming very, very soon. No, it does not stand for Jim. If you need to know, it stands for Jay or Johnny. But people just call me Jay anyways because it's just simpler. So it's QC or J, but you can say Johnny if you really need to. But not for Jim. Hell no. I don't. I'm not. If you saw what I look like, which of course you don't, if you saw what I look like, I'm not a Jim. I'm definitely not a Jim. But anyways, jokes aside, thanks for watching today's daily Casper and crypto live stream. If I missed your questions, I apologise. I made a mistake. But if you need to ask a question again, feel free to save it and ask me tomorrow. Tomorrow should we go around the same time, and we'll get into the whole nitty-gritty of crypto and Casper again. Hopefully some more bullish catalysts. Hopefully we'll get some updates regarding this Crypto Expo event. Be very good to hear as well. So make sure you tune in for that. A lot more to come next week for crypto and Casper. So have a great day, good evening, good night. If you enjoy the stream, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. Get 30 likes, please, or Mr. Miles will not be able to eat tonight. And yeah, if you want to know more about crypto and Casper, you can check me out on Twitter. Twitter @ right here. Come join the free community. And equally, if you want to be even more locked in, maximize the benefit from crypto, from trading alerts to intellectual research documents, information and whatnot as well. Come join the executive community, the WAP here, the description chat also my homepage as well. 7-day free trial, all that good stuff. Have a great day, good evening, good night. Have a good one, Johnny Jim. Let's not start this one, please. Let's not, please. Yeah, let's not. Please, let's not. Have you all a great evening, guys, and yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care now. That's the worst one. No, stop.